the President-elect of the United States, the Honorable Donald John Trump.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me.
The President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
I'm here to tell you tonight, we believe we're on track to win this election.
We were getting ready for a big celebration. We were winning everything, and all of a sudden it was just called off.
It's going to take a while. We're going to have to be patient until the hard work of tallying the votes is finished. And it ain't over till every vote is counted, every ballot is counted.
We want all voting to stop. We don't want them to find any ballots at 4 o'clock in the morning and add them to the list, okay?
Keep the faith, guys. We're going to win this.
We will win this, and as far as I'm concerned, we already have won it. So I just want to thank you.
The Fox News decision desk can now project that former Vice President Joe Biden
will become the 46th president of the United States.
Possibly the most consequential election of our lifetimes.
The people of this nation have spoken. They've delivered us a clear victory, a convincing victory. We've won with the most votes ever cast for a presidential ticket in the history of the nation. 74 million.
This may be the most important speech I've ever made. I want to provide an update on our ongoing efforts to expose the tremendous voter fraud and irregularities which took place during the ridiculously long November 3rd election. Determined to protect our election system, which is now under coordinated assault and siege. Within days after the election, we witnessed an orchestrated effort to anoint a winner, even while many key states were still being counted. This election was rigged. Everybody knows it. And they're not taking this White House. We're going to fight like hell, I'll tell you right now. Now it is up to Congress to confront this egregious assault on our democracy. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them. Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. To those who engaged in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay. We have just been through an intense election, and emotions are high. But now tempers must be cooled and calm restored. This election is now over. Congress has certified the results. I don't want to say the election's over. I just want to say Congress has certified the results without saying the election's over, okay?
Donald Trump has just become the first president in U.S. history to be impeached twice. Members of the U.S. House of Representatives have formally charged him with inciting insurrection after last week's deadly assault by his supporters on the Capitol.
Twitter has announced it is cutting off President Trump's ability to post on the social media site permanently.
President Trump has been banned indefinitely from Facebook and Instagram.
YouTube is the latest media platform to block President Trump.
Now, as I prepare to hand power over to a new administration, I want you to know that the movement we started is only just beginning. There's never been anything like it.
Tonight, the Senate has acquitted the former president by a vote of 57 to 43. 7 Republicans joining every Democrat in voting guilty, but falling short of the 2/3 majority required to convict.
But who knows? Who knows? I may even decide to beat them for a third time, okay? Biden's botched exit in Afghanistan is the most astonishing display of gross incompetence by a nation's leader, perhaps at any time that anybody's ever seen.
But Mr. President, respectfully, do you think that people have an issue with pulling out of Afghanistan or just the way that things have happened?
Prices surging more than they have in 30 years, and there doesn't seem to be an end in sight.
Prices have gone up.
Russia unleashing a brutal military assault on Ukraine, invading this vast nation from the north, south, and east.
Compare how great America was just 2 years ago with the way it is today. There was no inflation. The war with Russia going into Ukraine would never have happened, ever.
Right now, new laws banning abortion are taking effect in several states. Just hours after the court overturned the landmark Roe versus Wade decision.
Yesterday, the court handed down a victory for the Constitution, a victory for the rule of law, and above all, a victory for life.
It just stuns me.
In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
Tonight, we start with that breaking news out of Palm Beach, Florida.
This may be the most politically explosive raid ever undertaken by the FBI.
Former President Trump says his Mar-a-Lago home is being raided by the FBI right now.
FBI agents removed 11 sets of classified documents.
You're the President of the United States. You can declassify just by saying it's declassified, even by thinking about it. They indict me. I explain what it's about. Total bullshit, all cases. Right? And my poll numbers go up. My poll numbers go up. How do you figure that?
Good evening, everyone. We are coming on the air with major developments involving former President Trump and Georgia's investigation into Trump, his allies, and their alleged attempts to overturn that state's 2020 presidential election results. We know that the grand jury in Fulton County, Georgia, handed up an indictment for taking it from the judge.
This is an image that will be in the history books. This is the mugshot of the 45th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Trump was booked yesterday at the Fulton County Jail in Atlanta
on charges of attempting to overturn his 2020 election defeat in the state.
This is serious stuff for the nation, for who we are as a country. We have never before had a mugshot of a United States president, current or former.
And here it is. If you want to go out and get it, you can go out and get it. Have fun with it.
His campaign says it raised over $7 million since the release of the mugshot.
Merch, t-shirts, coffee mugs, coolers, and bumper stickers.
I'm the only person in the history of politics that's been indicted whose poll numbers went up 25 points or something, right? I think so. You know,
Donald Trump has been found guilty on all counts in his hush money trial. This afternoon, a jury in New York City determined he conducted business fraud in a scheme to illegally influence the 2016 election through a hush money payment to an adult film star.
this was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace.
It was very unfair.
It's so unfair.
Nobody's ever seen anything like it. This is a scam. It was a rigged trial. This is the most ridiculous case I've ever seen. We're living in a fascist state.
He says, you're not going to be a dictator, are you? I said, no, other than day one. We're closing the border, and we're drilling. After that, I'm not a dictator, okay?
This morning, tensions escalating on the Texas border. Dramatic new video shows a struggle between Border Patrol and migrants in El Paso.
Nearly 10,000 migrants a day. That is what federal officials say they are encountering at the U.S. southern border.
I will seal the border, stop the invasion, and send Joe Biden's illegal aliens the hell back home.
The Gaza Health Ministry says more than 40,000 Palestinians have been killed since the October 7th Hamas massacre in Israel that triggered the war.
When the word is that I'm 2 points up, I don't know if that's good or bad. How are you 2 points up to Biden? He can't talk, he can't walk, can't find his way off a stage, can't put two sentences together, although he has agreed to debate, so I don't know, maybe they know something. He's going to be so jacked up for those debates you watch.
Making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if
did anybody last night watch a thing called The Debate?
Right now, as we speak, there is a deep, a wide, and a very aggressive panic in the Democratic Party.
We got widespread panic among Democrats overnight.
In case you missed it, don't worry, so did one of the contestants.
I think President Biden needs to step down.
At least 32 Democrats have publicly called for a new candidate.
Democratic donor George Clooney now calling on President Joe Biden to step aside.
That Biden should step aside.
the bottom line here is that we're not going anywhere. I am not going anywhere.
The High Court has just issued one of its most consequential rulings in recent decades. The court deciding this morning presidents do have immunity for official acts, but there is no immunity for non-official acts.
This is an absolute win for Donald Trump. This effectively grants Donald Trump blanket immunity because it makes it impossible for a trial to go forward.
Because our country is going to hell, if you haven't noticed. Millions and millions of people are pouring in from prisons and from mental institutions. Criminals, drug dealers. We had the strongest border ever. In fact, if they could ever put up a chart, I don't know if they can do it. Do you guys have access to that chart that I love so much? And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened. Surrounded by Secret Service. The crowd was confused because they thought I was dead, and there was great, great sorrow. I could see that on their faces as I looked out. They didn't know I was looking out. They thought it was over, but I could see it. I wanted to do something to let them know I was okay. I raised my right arm, looked at the thousands and thousands of people that were breathlessly waiting, and started shouting, "Fight, fight, fight."
On behalf of everyone whose story could only be written in the greatest nation on earth, I accept your nomination to be President of the United States of America.
Team Harris says it's raised $81 million.
Harris raising more than $200 million.
They've raised $310 million.
She has crossed the $1 billion mark.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets. I don't care how, but you have to get out and vote just this time. In 4 years, you don't have to vote again. We'll have it fixed so good you're not going to have to vote.
Do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do.
She's a Marxist, communist, fascist, socialist.
Kamala Harris right now back in front, a 4-point lead, 51-47 in the matchup with former President Trump.
This is someone who is unstable, obsessed with revenge, consumed with grievance, and out for unchecked power.
Come here. Take over, Eli. Just take.
Rolling.
Good to see you,
Let's
sir.
go.
Here we go.
Arnold Palmer was all man. And I say that in all due respect to women, and I love women. He took showers with the other pros. They came out of there, they said, oh my God.
The Fox News decision desk can now officially project that Donald Trump will become the 47th President of the United States.
Look what happened. Is this crazy?
Voters express deep frustration with the Biden administration, and President Trump overperformed in urban areas, particularly with men, proving
the working class of this country is angry. And they have a reason to be angry.
People didn't come out. I don't know why, and it doesn't even matter. He's now the president. I'm still not going to say his name.
2024 global wave against incumbents beset by post-COVID turmoil and inflation.
America has defied the mantra that demography is destiny.
The fact that they are holding on to the Obama era, in my opinion, is a racist assumption.
There is racial bias in this country, and there is sexism in this country, and anybody who thinks that
He's a man who has survived so much. All of the court cases, all of the investigations, 2 impeachments, 2 special prosecutors.
It felt like America's brighter. That's what it felt like.
Congratulations. Thank you. And looking forward to having like we said, smooth transition. Do everything we can to make sure you're accommodated, what you need. And we're going to get a chance to talk about some of that today. So
Good.
Welcome
Thank you
back.
very much. And thank you very much. And politics is tough, and it's in many cases not a very nice world, but it is a nice world today, and I appreciate very much a transition that's so smooth. It'll be as smooth as it can get, and I very much appreciate that, Jim.
You're welcome.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
now.